Okay, it says we're live. So get some people in here. Get started. Oh me. Working. Hey, Jamie, how are you? First one in here this morning. Yeah, I'm doing pretty good, Jamie. Uh, just got up here to the shop just a few minutes ago. The weather's crazy down here. I mean, it's supposed to get up to 73 today, 63 right now. This time last week it was 18 degrees. And hey, Jerome, how are you? Yeah, it's the weather. Weather just been all over the place down here. Of course, it's dry as a bone down. We're getting a little bit of rain last 2 or 3 days here, but it's just light. It's just light drizzles, not much of anything, just enough to dampen the ground, and that's it. I'd like to see it get a little bit rainier. We need the water. I mean, my pond is down as low as I've ever seen it, I believe. I mean, it's really low right now. I mean, I've got two creeks that feed it, but both of those creeks are dried up. And hey, Kevin, how are you? Tupelo, golly, you were way up north, and now you're way down south. Yeah, in a week's time, you've gone the whole East Coast, haven't you, Kevin? Uh, yeah, that's you're down there below. You're down there where Elvis grew up his first few years. Well, where Elvis was born, Tupelo. So yeah, you're right down below Memphis. Been through there several times. Tupelo and what's some of the other towns down through there? I'm trying to think. Yeah, yeah. Another week closer to 2024 election day. Yeah, that's scary there. I hope we can get things turned around in the United States. I mean, they're trying their best to convict the president so he can't run. They don't even want him to run, and over over some of the same things that the other presidents been involved with and more, and a lot of other people with those papers and it's just crap. Trying to convict somebody over that crap and making a mountain out of a molehill, and they'll do their best. I mean, the government has ways of doing their best of doing it, but you got to Trump has got to be a fighter. I tell you what. I mean, for him to fight back, the average person never would have put up with this crap. The average person would have said, "The heck with it, quit. I can't take it. I'm not going to mess with it." But he's been a fighter, and if he fights for the country as good as he's fought for himself in these trials and everything, it'll be something. Yeah, I know it. Yeah, the Democrats they'll vote for him though. That's the problem. Headed to Hot Springs, Arkansas, are you? Wow. Okay. Yeah, I know where all that is. That's a little bit in my I'm southeast here. I like the southeast. I didn't mind going out to Memphis, and I didn't go much further west than Memphis usually, but Memphis and Birmingham and Atlanta and all down in Florida, Tampa and Jacksonville and all down in there. I didn't mind that, and then back up toward Virginia and around. That was sort of I liked that area. I could get in and out of that without much trouble. I like that. Yeah, Yeah, the Dems are trying their best to convict somebody before the election instead of after. I mean, they're trying to do their best to. I mean, it's amazing to me what they can get away with and are getting away with, and I don't know. It's so surprising, and and then turn a blind eye to everything that Biden and his family is doing. I mean, had that been the Trump family, they would have had them all up for treason. I mean, it's amazing how bad that they were bought out, and it is what it. And then it's oh well, Trump was doing it just as bad. I don't see it. I really don't. Trump's value actually went down after he was president, and they're trying to uh, make it so he can't get credit now, but saying that his valuations were wrong, and that's crazy. That's crazy business there. I mean, I've heard a ton of people talking about Mar-a-Lago that it's worth every bit of what he said it's worth because all the property around it's worth like a just because the tax assessment comes in like heck I wouldn't sell my house for what my tax assessment is. I mean I'd be a fool to. And same way when I sold a condo a little over a year ago, I wouldn't dare. I wouldn't have dared sold it for what the tax assessment was. I mean, you'd be a fool to do that. Nobody does, but they're trying to hold him to those standards when nobody else is held to those standards. So it's really a crazy situation. Crazy situation. Well, I hope everything else is going good in everybody's life. Uh, I had to go see my pulmonary doctor this week. I've got problems with my diaphragm. It's some of the reasons that I'm having breathing problems. I know a lot of y'all, heard me talk about my breathing problems. I can't. My diaphragm is not working right, and they think possibly. I don't know. It's still trying to sort this out. That when I had my quadruple bypass, that they may have damaged that nerve that goes from your brain down to your diaphragm that lets your diaphragm work properly. And it's got a fancy name to it. I'd have to look it up to tell you what it was. But my pulmonary doctor says that happens sometimes. That gets pinched or damaged or something, and then that happens sometimes. And when they're doing a bypass surgery, and it's possible that that's what's happened to me. Somehow or another, that nerve, the signal is not 100% right or something because I can't breathe down in my diaphragm. And some of y'all may could tell that from old videos of my voice. I was a little more pronounced, you might say, and some of the older videos than I am now. And I have to stop every once in a while to take a drink and kind of clear my throat and that sort of stuff. So I don't sound like Robert F. Kennedy, I guess. Robert F. Kennedy Jr., he has of course, his is more vocal. I don't think he has problems breathing. He just got something with his vocal cords that got damaged. But for me, it's my diaphragm. I can't breathe as much. I mean, I can walk from here to a piece of my equipment. I'm totally exhausted. I carry cans of oxygen uh, with me, to help me out so I don't have to sit down and take a breath. But that happens. That happens in life. Well, anything else happening in the world out there today? Oh, you're fighting a small cold, are you, Jerome? Well, I understand that. I got a cold myself. I'm trying to get back and get some of the other comments there. Yeah, I'd like to see us turn a little more conservative and get away from this woke society we got right now. I mean, it's bad. Uh, it's bad right now that our country has turned so woke and so far to the left. I like to not think about it sometimes, but it just hits you square in the face sometimes what of how it is. And you know, I'd like to get back to some normal situations. I'd like to get back to some normal gas prices too, or at least diesel prices. Gas actually has come down a little bit, but boy, diesel's still up there. Diesel's still $4 a gallon, and it should be two. When Trump went out, it was $2, a little over $2 a gallon, and it's totally just doubled since Biden went in. But you know, it is what it is. There. Hey, James, you doing okay this morning, James? Uh, but you know, we hopefully things. Well, my lights flickered here. I don't know if my power. I hope my power doesn't go off. My lights flickered just for a second or two. But you never know about overhead power either. That can go at any time. Doesn't have to be anything special. So it can be it get knocked off a mile down the road and it knocked me off. Yeah, I hope everybody is doing well. Like I said, the weather's gone crazy. Uh, I mean, crazy good in a way if you like warm weather. I mean, it's going to be 73 degrees here today, like a fall day. I mean, a late summer day. I mean, it's gonna be nice, except for the cloudy, rainy and everything. But as far as weather, uh, it's gonna be just nice, warm weather. I won't even need a sweatshirt. I could probably get around in a t-shirt, but neither one way or the other on that. I'm happy with all the changes of weather. It's nice not to have to turn the big heat on up here. I got everybody knows there's my big heater. What uses my waste oil. I've been able to get a little bit of waste oil this week from my buddy Landon. We're gonna have one of his trucks, or at least the motor, over here in the shop another week or so. Got one of his mechanics going to rebuild the motor over here. I've got a little bit better shop and better tools and everything than he has with the lifts and everything else, and I can accommodate him a little bit better than what he's got. So he's going to bring it over, and we're going to go get it and have it so they can work on it and get him back going. He's got one. He's going to have to put a crank in and everything. He's going to spend some money on this one. He's probably going to spend $20,000 on this motor, I guess. And parts are so sky high now. I have no idea. What parts are going for now. So it's crazy. No, I'm not gonna still. No, he's bringing to me 55-gallon drums. He's got some they've been saving. No, I'm not. They've already got the oil out of the motor. The oil out of the motor is uh, long gone. Now that was the problem with the motor. The guy, it's crazy. He lost the motor because the filler tube cap blew off, and it blew out all the motor, all the oil, engine oil. And when it did that, he lost his engine, spun a bearing, and there goes 20 to $25,000 down the drain. I don't know how much it's going to be, but that that's what happens when you're, messing with the big trucks. I'm glad I don't have to do that anymore. I'm glad that, you know, I'm glad that I can do what I can do. Let's give us a thumbs up here, guys, if you can. Give me a thumbs up or a thumbs up on this side. Watching on, and give it to me on the other side now. There we go. Give me that if you can, and help the old help the old logistical stuff, not logistical. What? Uh, uh, oh, the logarithm. Help the logarithm and everything on the. What am I trying to say? That they call it a special name. I'm losing my mind on that. Algorithm. Still a logarithm. Algorithm. Yeah, get the algorithm going good. That's what they use with the, um, with everything with Google is they got everything works off an algorithm and everything. They check all the words and all their little things that they do. Like I said, with the thumbs up and all that, all the crazy stuff that uh, means something to them. It doesn't mean anything to the average guy, but it works for them. And if they put it out there, you have to participate. Because if you don't participate, then uh, your statistics and everything will go down. Uh, so it's crazy what you have to do to keep everything going, to keep it free, I guess. I don't know what it does when you scratch your nose. It does that when you do the thumbs up. And of course, everybody has seen the two thumbs up. Woohoo! That's an Apple thing. That's an Apple thing with the new Apple software. And let's see, there's something when you do like this. What is it? Or the V's do something too, I think. Yeah, there they are. The V's do that. And I'm trying to think there's a couple of hand gestures that you do with the camera, and it puts all this background in it through Apple, because I'm using a MacBook Pro here, but it's crazy. But yeah, when it first did it a couple of weeks ago, I didn't know what was going on. I thought somebody was doing it to me. I didn't realize that Apple was picking up on my gestures. I happened to be watching a MacBook uh, MacBook Weekly, a show that I watch sometimes, and they were talking about it, and they were talking about all these gestures. Like I said, if I do that and get that's pretty neat. That's pretty neat, I think. And there's some other stuff too, but I'd have to, like I said, I don't know. I don't scratching your nose isn't one of them. Or I'd be caught a lot by doing that because I scratch my nose a good bit. But uh, it's been a different week. Like I said, having to go to my pulmonary doctor. I've got to take some tests. They put me through a series of tests about 3 weeks ago, and they checked that, and that's when they came back and this week was the first time I actually met with the doctor, the pulmonary specialist, and he was telling me about my diaphragm. Then he's sending me out to have some more tests that he wants done, and then I'll meet again with him in January to see what the analysis is on that. The main analysis is I'm getting old, guys. I'm getting old. Getting old and wearing out. I'm not the young spring chicken that I used to be. I'm the old rooster, I guess. But it is what it is with that. I mean, we all have aches and pains, and we either live with them and go on, or don't. I mean, I'm gonna go till I can't. That's the thing. Yeah, it's crazy on the getting old and everything, but it is what it is. Life's been good to me, so I can't complain. I mean, I guess I am sort of complaining right now, but life's been pretty good to me for these past 72 years. And it's amazing to me that I'm 72 years old. And 72, I feel fortunate to have made it that far. My dad passed away at 65. My younger brother passed away at 67. And so, it's something. I've got two other older brothers. I've got a brother 74 and a brother 76. And they're hanging in there. And my brother is 76. He's got Parkinson's and he's in bad shape. He's probably the worst health of all of us. But we all have something. Something's going to take us all out of here. Oh, you finally got your Medicare. Now you can tell the VA to take a hike. Yeah. Well, I've had my Medicare for a long time, so thank goodness. Thank goodness for that. And thank goodness I worked long enough and hard enough to get it. Yeah, that is the difference, Jamie. Uh, that is the difference. Oh yeah, we're all aging. That's for sure. We're all aging. We're not all of us going to be able to get around and run fast and all that sort of stuff. Jamie was down here at the house, what, about 2 months ago now, month and a half, 2 months ago. And me and him, I guess we could see firsthand all what ails both of us. we could see that neither one of us were going to run a marathon, and neither one of us were going to be able to do as much as we did in our 20s and 30s. Uh, yeah, that's part of being on Earth. That's part of life. Oh, you're only 45, Walter. Oh, you're young. Yeah, you're young. I didn't. Yeah, 45. Yeah, I would love to be 45 again. Of course, my two children that are in their 50s wouldn't like it too good. I was 45. Yeah, my two children are in their 50s. My son's 50 and my daughter's 52. So yeah, that's right. Walter's still a spring chicken. Yeah, he's still a spring chicken. He's 30 behind me almost. Yeah, but he's about 30 years behind me. It's hard to think sometimes that I mean, I can remember when I was 44. I was 44 and my son was 22. We always talk about that. When I was 44, he was 22, and my mother-in-law was actually, what was it? She was 22 years older than me at that time. I was 44 and she was 66. She was 66, I was 44, and my son was 22. Because that's when my son graduated college, when he was 22, and or right after that, we always thought that was a neat year. We had 22, 44, and 66, and we got a picture of all three of us together when that happened, and it doesn't seem like now my son's 50 and I'm 72 and my mother-in-law's gone. Yeah. Yeah, it's amazing how time will fly. It's amazing. I just get up every day and try to get more and more things done. Yeah, well, yeah. When I took it, it was 50 and older, but 44. My son's got to go in for. He's got to go in for a colonoscopy, and I I've had one a couple of years back. I probably ought to schedule myself for another one and everything. But it is what it is on that. Everybody needs to get checked out with that. Yeah, it's been close to 10 years on me too, I think, James. Yeah. Yeah, everything was clear on mine, clean. And but my wife said I embarrassed her because after they did it, she was in the recovery room and I was snoring real loud. Said I sounded like a freight train in there. But it is what it is. But all those procedures need to be checked out. I mean, that's like everybody needs to get their prostate checked too, because I found out this past year I've got prostate cancer, but it's real small, and it's what they call stage 0 or stage 1. And they said it's so small. My doctor basically told me, he said, "Here you are, 72." He said something else is going to kill you before that. He said, and what we do is monitor that instead of treat that. He said it would be worse to go in and do a major surgery and take out my prostate and everything to get cancer. He said when people live with that all the time, he said you're better off living with that prostate, a little bit of a prostate cancer, than trying to get out there and operate. He said now if it gets real bad, and they'll monitor it, he said they'll do something, but he said mine's at a level that I shouldn't even be concerned with. So that's the way I am right now. I mean, something else is probably going to get me, like he said, and and sometimes you don't want them to be cut on. I mean, I got cut on a bunch, and as we were talking about earlier, and that may be some of my problems that I'm having now, is the fact that I probably have damage to my that nerve going to my diaphragm because I can't breathe as good now. I mean, I can breathe the upper part of my chest, but the lower part, they say the lower part of my down near my diaphragm is not breathing right. So that, you know, I guess I'm gonna have to learn to sing again or something like that, which they say actually helps with the diaphragm. And I told my wife, I said, and I guess my show that I do each Sunday actually helps me, and because I'm having to project a little bit more with my speech than I would be if I'm just sitting around the house and not saying anything. So y'all guys actually help me probably. So I'll give you a clap, give you a little, give yourself a hand there. And hey, Joy, you're sliding in here late. Am I supposed to give you a tardy for coming in late, so late, Joy? Did the school bus get there late? That was a problem. School bus was late today, wasn't it? It's 44 and rainy. Well, it's so. Oh man, I had to sneeze. Well, it's 63 and rainy here. Thank you, Joey. Yeah, it's 63 and rainy, and I'm up here at the shop, keeping toasty though. I got my little foot heater, and like I said, it's warm up here, so it's no big deal. Bad fog, huh? Okay. Well, we had a lot of, like I said, all this rain coming through. We had fog. What day was it? We had a good fog one day this week, Monday or Tuesday. I can't remember. Oh, yeah. Well, it's time now. It's December 3rd. Today's my brother's birthday. My brother, I was speaking of him a while ago, my younger brother that passed away. He would have been 69 today. Today is December 3rd. It's his birthday. And we lost him a little over 2 years ago. Yep. And then coming up on the anniversary of losing my dad, I lost my dad on December 10th in 89. And he was only 65 at the time. So, like we said, it's you have to be thankful for every day you get. And I'm very thankful. I want to be able to live long enough to go see Joey again. You lost yours on 11/28. Okay. Yeah. Yep. It's a hard time to think about that, isn't it, Joey? Now, your dad was young too, wasn't he? Wasn't your dad just early 60s when you lost him? Yeah. Well, yeah. I hope I don't check out just because of that. Joy, you keeping New York State straight? 67. Yeah, that's the same age my brother was. Yeah, my brother was 67 2 years ago when we lost him. Yeah. Well, I'm gonna stick around and hopefully correct it if we can. I know all these movie stars are threatening to leave again if Trump gets elected. That's a good sign because that's what they did last time. They all threatened, oh, yeah, if Trump gets elected, I'm moving to Canada. Well, I didn't see the U-Haul packed up and go. I didn't see Rosie O'Donnell or Whoopi Goldberg or any of those crazy people leave. No saving New York, huh? Yeah, yeah. Joy, if you talked to Mike lately, I chatted with him the other day. Um, I got Mike's hat on, Dirt Boss's hat on right this morning. Well, it's a crazy thing. What they passed the other day, James? Yeah, Mike. I chatted with Mike online. I texted him the other day, and he says he's doing pretty good. But I told him I hadn't seen any videos lately, and he said he just hadn't had the time. I think it's too much trouble to get in and out of the dozers and everything else, and he's hurting. I think he's still hurting in his lower side and everything. Still trying to heal up. Tough getting older, isn't it, guys? We're talking about a guy that's in his Mike's early 40s, I think, about 42 or 44, somewhere in there. We're talking about Dirt Boss. I went up to see him and Joey back during the summer up there in New York. Went up to Albany. That's what some people call Albany or Albany. Went up there to Albany and met them up there and went out to eat. Had a good dinner or supper, depends on how you say it. Sometimes down here, we call it supper down here, and a lot of people in different locations. If you're country enough, you can just say supper. If you got to be fancy, it's dinner. Yeah, with all the pretty girls over there. There's a lot of pretty girls up there wearing those short black skirts, black stockings, and everything. all the mafia looking girls. Yeah, yeah, yeah. We had it for lunch the next day. Yeah, my daughter and I we were able to heat it up for lunch the next day. We were right beside the Cracker Barrel at our hotel. I told her, I said, "Well, go over and get some vegetables, and we'll bring it back, and we'll heat the Parmesan up again, and have that and some fresh vegetables and everything, and made a second good meal out of it." Then we went to the Hall of Fame again. She really loved that. I mean, my daughter, she really ate that up, going to the Baseball Hall of Fame, and we went up there 2 days, 2 days in a row. We went up there one day and went all through the Baseball Hall of Fame, and then the second day we went back and saw the uh, the induction parade. Uh, and I need to put that up on a video. I've got that. I need to edit it down and show all the different players, because they had about 30 something coaches and players that, that everybody knows. Uh, I mean, just Wade Boggs uh, uh, and Derek Jeter, and of course um, Johnny Bench, just a whole bunch of them. You finally got your son out of the military. Well, that's great. Yeah, well, I probably should. I'm just not a big basketball fan. I guess it would have been good. Now, where's the Basketball Hall of Fame at? I know the football's in Canton, Ohio. We had talked about going to that sometime. And one day I know I probably should. I mean, we made the best of it while we were up there. Oh, Springfield, Massachusetts. Okay. Well, that would have been on up the road a piece. That's probably what, 3 or 4 hours away from Albany, isn't it? Oh, is he? I didn't know that. Derek Jeter's from Kalamazoo, Michigan. Yeah, yeah. I saw him. He was there, and like I said, a bunch of them. Wade Boggs, uh, uh, on and on. Like I said, Johnny Bench, Wade Boggs, uh, a lot of the Atlanta players. I'm trying to think of the picture. I don't know them as good as my daughter does. She can just click them off. About 115 miles, 90 minutes away. Yeah. Well, that wouldn't have been too bad. If I'd had a little more time, I mean, that's the problem. I was wanting to get. I had some work being done down here. We were doing. That's when we were. I was right in between all this logging stuff that we've had done down here, and I wanted to get back for that. So I spent the best part of those 5 or 6 days, and while those guys were off, they had taken off for the fourth. And, well, that was at the end of the month. But anyway, I had like 5 or 6 days to play with there, because they shut down on Thursdays. But I left on a Wednesday, I think, and then came back on a Monday or Tuesday. When did I come back? I can't remember when I came. I think it was a Monday when I came, or Tuesday. I can't remember, to tell the truth. Now, what's in Fort Devens, Michigan, or Massachusetts? I can't tell by that heart's over my. I got one of those icons over top of that text there. What's in Fort Devens? Oh, that's your old Army base. Okay, okay. I couldn't. I thought it was some Hall of Fame or something. Yeah. Were you ever stationed in Fort Bragg? Of course, I don't know what they call Fort Bragg now. They've given it a new name, which is ridiculous too. That's another one of these woke things that drives you crazy. why they took away some of these names that are synonymous with the location, because it's too, you never were stationed at Bragg. And see, to me, that's a great name. I mean, I don't associate it with the guy, the General Bragg or whatever. Fort Bragg, that's the name of a town. That's a good name of a fort. Now they want to change it to some other crap. Yeah. I mean, Fort Bragg is, I mean, I guess I like it as being called Fort Bragg. And my dad was stationed there during World War II. And you know, it's synonymous with those kind of things. I mean, you put a relationship of, you know, Fayetteville and Fort Bragg, and, or, you know, and they called, back when I was a kid, we always called Fayetteville, we called it Vietnam, because all the kids were getting shipped off to Vietnam going out from Fort Bragg. So it was a slang, but it's stuck, you know. Yeah, they changed Fort Benning to what they changed it to. They changed it to something. I mean, yeah, I mean, it's crazy. I mean, that's yeah. I mean, that's just crazy to be able to do that or wanting to do that. Spend good money to change names of an established location just because you say, oh, that's racist. Well, good gosh almighty. I mean, they're going to have to, I mean, we can't tear down all of our history just to accommodate some liberal, ultra liberal teacher or society to say this is racist or that's not racist. They were talking about all of the first 8 presidents all were slave owners, because that was a way of life back then. I mean, no one condones slavery. No one says anything. I mean, slavery had its point in time. It did what it did. Uh, it brought a whole society of people over here to the United States that probably wouldn't have populated as much had there not been that way. I mean, you don't want to say what's good about it, because, I mean, there was nothing good about the act of slavery, but it all has a point in time, and you can't change that, what happened in time. That's what I get, and that's what gets me. Because it happened in history, you can't go back and erase the fact that it happened in history. You just acknowledge it and go on. You correct your mistakes without trying to erase the past. I mean, yeah. Well, I don't think anyone of this generation needs no reparations, because you've had 3 or 4 generations to get away from anything that would have been slavery at any point. And if you haven't had an opportunity, and there have been many of opportunities for people to better themselves, the problem is we've got a government that wants to suppress their people right now. Why do you think the Democrats want people? People got to get intelligent. The Democrats want to keep certain people in a lower class. They don't want them to develop into middle class people. They don't want them to develop in upper class people. They want to suppress them so they vote in a block. And that's what they've done for years. I mean, a lot of them are wising up to the fact that they've been suppressed, and they're getting independent thinking, and they want to be the middle class, which they need to be, instead of being denied the opportunities to get better. And these are the things that are so crazy. People need to study history, not erase history. They need to understand what history is all about, so they can correct anything. We don't need reparations. I mean, reparations will put people down just as much as anything else. I mean, look at the crazy people out in San Francisco talking about, oh yeah, we need to give everybody $1 million or whatever outrageous amount. Well, those people would blow through it, and just the people that would get it and abuse it would be right back in the same situation within months or years, early years. I mean, it would not do anything to promote somebody's well-being. But it's crazy. It's crazy. I mean, if you don't have the desire to better yourself and have an opportunity when you have the desire, then you're never going to get better. I mean, I'm all for giving everybody an equal opportunity, and that's what you want to do. Equal opportunity, not an advantaged opportunity, not a disadvantaged opportunity, equal opportunity. And that means we all start on the same starting line. And when they say go, you go. You don't say, well, let's let him start at the 40-yard line because he's weaker, and then let this one start way back here behind the starting line because he's stronger. You give them all an equal opportunity. They make the best of it. That's just my opinion. I mean, some people feel like we need to prop up everything, and they spend millions and billions of dollars propping up programs and propping up people that won't take advantage of what we're doing. And I mean, we're seeing it now when these cities like Chicago and New York and everything else are getting their government services taken up by the migrants now. And they're going, whoa, 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 you're taking away our services. That's right. That's what happens. And that's what happens with these liberal, ultra liberal things. You're seeing how skewed that program is because now they're taking it away from you and they're giving it to somebody else. And you don't like it. I mean, we cannot govern people out of poverty. They have got to want to get out of it. I mean, I'm all for assistance for a certain level, and I'm all for, like me, I'm retired. Now I'm getting back what I paid in to Social Security, and I'm getting back the benefits of what's good for Medicare and everything else. But it's taken me 70 years to get it. I didn't get it overnight. I didn't get it when I was 18. I didn't get it when I was 35. I got it when I was 70, after I had worked from my teenage years all the way till I was 70 years old. So there's a difference. And, so it's not a equal thing. Yeah, that's right. Everybody is a winner, or there's no trophies out there for a lot of people. We don't give out trophies because we all want them. We don't want somebody else to be upset. You don't want somebody to be a winner. You don't want somebody to excel. I mean, that's such a farce thing. I mean, I sat and watched football games yesterday, enjoyed the heck out of them, all the different college bowl games. But they were all going for something to win. They weren't going to go out there to see how good they could play and not have a score at the end of it to say, we're the winner, we're the victor. Everybody wants to be a victor. Everybody wants to be a winner. And that's why sports are such a great thing for society, because it gives you the energy to say, our team is winning or our team's losing. You're either sad or you're happy on those situations. But I mean, teams compete so they can win. They don't compete just to say we're going to get a participation trophy. If they handed out participation trophies yesterday, I guarantee that 90% of those people would never play another game of college football. And so that's the way it goes. The way it goes. Well, guys, I am going to get out of here because my voice is getting a little rough again. So I appreciate everybody coming by. Give me a thumbs up. And I will catch y'all next week or maybe sometime during this week. I'll talk to you later.